All right, awesome. Thank you everyone for waiting. I think we've got several people that have already joined us, so we're going to go ahead and get it kicked off here. Those of you who just hopped on, hello, my name is Rochelle Orozco. I'm a CSM here at Passageways, and we are so glad to have you here joining us for Passageways 2019 Bestie webinar. This is with Bank of Eastern Oregon. Heidi Nelson is here to present with us and go over their Bestie innovation that they did at our 2018 powwow surrounding best practices with products and services, and some cool new things that she can also show you here in her portal as well. So we're really excited to hear from her today and let you be part of that conversation. So we will be recording, and then I do have a few housekeeping items I'd like to go over here just so everybody kind of knows how a webinar works and what to expect as far as today's calls go. So once again, welcome. Thank you so much for your time jumping in here with us. We appreciate that. Just for housekeeping purposes, we will be sending out a recording. You will have the opportunity then to download that presentation if you like. During the webinar, you should see in Zoom at the very bottom of the panel, if you have it full screen, there's a place for you to submit question and answers. If you are not familiar with that, there is also the chat spot. So if you can't find question and answers, you can use the chat one. I know several of you used Zoom before and are familiar with that feature. We do have question and answers turned on there. So we would prefer you would send them there so that we can get answers visible for everyone as we pull those through. We will be answering questions towards the end of the call today. So just so that you know how that works. And then without further ado, I will go ahead and introduce our webinar Heidi today and let her take it over. But before, let me go ahead and give her a little introduction. I get to work with Heidi regularly, so I love that. She's awesome. She is the IS assistant here at Bank of Eastern Oregon. She's been there about 1.5 years and started working with their portal Be-Bop about 6 months after coming to the organization. So I'll let her share a little bit about her experience and why she started off with the relaunch and even dug into the products and services at all. So with that, Heidi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will let you take it away. We'll kind of just chat through things here.
All right, thank you. So you're able to see my screen, okay?
Sure do. Thank you.
Okay. So as she said, I joined the bank about 1.5 years ago, and it was a little slow when I was first getting up to speed with what my job was going to be. And one of the things I spent my time doing was checking out our company portal. And I came across this section here called Products and Services. And I wasn't really sure if it was something I was supposed to be looking at as a regular employee, not a frontline teller. I've never been a frontline teller. So I'm back in the IT department, just kind of getting to know the bank and what they do. And I thought, well, I'd like to know more about what products does the bank offer? What kind of things could I, be utilizing as a customer? And so I clicked in there, and I got a little lost in here. I didn't really know what I was looking at. I was just trying to figure things out, and it looked more like it was probably set up mostly for the frontline tellers to learn about the products and services so they can speak knowledgeably about them to our customers. I just struggled to know where to go. As you can see, like over here on the left, you lose all of your main navigation when you go in. And I didn't really know what I was looking at or what I was doing, and no one had given me any information about it. So when it came time for me to start working on redesigning the portal, I was eager to tackle this specific portion.
For sure.
Because there's going to be other new, there's always turnover at any company. And I kind of thought of other new employees coming on and trying to understand what they're looking at and what other options there are, especially if they're talking to their friends about, oh, well, you should come bank with us because we offer X, Y, and Z. You kind of do a promotion for your own company. So I kind of thought when I was doing on my redesign, I wanted to make sure, because the problem is that you lose the rest of the portal navigation. It was clunky to navigate through. You didn't have any side-by-side product comparison in what we had at the time. And there were these boxes that were just empty, like the promotion centers. So I made it my goal to make it visually attractive, easier to find, even from the main homepage of the portal, informative for any new staff members coming on board, easier to navigate, improve the functionality of it, and of course keep the design of all the other pages within the portal. Kind of felt like the old one had a whole different look and feel than the rest of the portal did. So in working with Passageways and kind of throwing around different ideas, this is where I came to. I built a hub. So that you get here from the main page, there's a quick button that takes you right into the products and services hub, and it just really quickly gives you a nice location of, oh, where do I want to go? Do I know more about checking, know more about savings? Just at a quick top level glance, you get a quick understanding of the services offered here at the bank.
Awesome.
And then,
much easier to see.
Exactly. So then you can dive into different topics. This shows diving into a savings account. We offer consumer and business, and what's the difference between those, and having them side by side on one page really informs. Doesn't matter who you are at the bank, you can get a quick idea of what the difference is, because maybe you're going to start a side business or whatever. Just because you're an employee doesn't mean you don't need to know these things. Just because you're not a frontline teller doesn't mean you don't need to know about these things. So then when you get into comparing them, having this, I think my favorite part of the redesign in this is the side-by-side, being able to compare a business, a money market, different types of products, and seeing them side-by-side, what they offer, what they don't offer. And this is also huge for our frontline tellers, for them to quickly call it up on their screen if they have a customer in front of them who's asking them questions. They can quickly get to this in the portal. Now, we have not relaunched this yet, so it's not in use at the moment. I am looking forward to relaunching here, hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks. But they would be able to call this up quickly. The customer could ask some questions. They can answer them just from one screen on their computer instead of having to dig around and figure things out. I added these quick return buttons. I layered them in so that they can quickly navigate back if the customer was like, oh, well, what about, we're looking at business. Let's talk about consumer savings. They can quickly get back or quickly return to other products and services. So you can kind of see very quickly the difference between the old look and the new look, and how much easier it is to navigate.
Oh, yeah.
And quickly inform any employee at any level, whether back office, frontline, new accounts, get them up to speed very quickly, efficiently. They find their way around. I feel like I'm moving really quickly through this.
That's okay. We have your whole portal to play with, so.
So that was where I was coming from when I redid this section. The end of this has a little video. It's not very clear, but what we might do is go into the live portal. Would that might be a little bit easier? Okay, let's jump into. So here you can see it in action. So one of the really fun things that I had a lot of fun playing with is coding the HTML for these mouse overs. So this hub page, this hub page, these are each built with PTEs with customized HTML, and I built the graphics, put in the HTML, and so if we click through into checking, and again, these are all PTEs on here. And then again, you can click through, or you can, this is something I'm working on now, is making these return buttons fadeable as well. So getting
ooh, that's new.
Yeah, that's new. I was just working on that the other day.
Oh,
and again,
nice.
it's just really easy to navigate through. You can return to products and services and checking. And I didn't point out that you can get to products and services from any page in the portal from this sidebar over here that you can roll over and get to. So
Awesome.
go back here, as well as navigating through within each of the sections. And these here, these buttons at the top, let me go back to where I was just at. This is a PTE layered on top of a PTE, this return button. See, this is a PTE, and then this is a PTE. Actually, this is an image island here at the top, and then this is a PTE with the graphic in it that goes back.
It's very consistent though, and it has the, the colors on brand for you.
Yeah.
Really neat.
Exactly. So, and then if you click on any of these links up at the top, it does open a pop-up window that gives you similar information as what you see in the comparison, but just maybe a little bit more product specific.
And is that part of the products and services app then? You're using the comparison island, and then it just links out to the original page? Awesome.
That's right. So this top one, this Compare IRL, IRA is a PTE, I think, and then this is the comparison island that's built into the module that you just, I mean, it takes a little work to set everything up on the back end to put all this information in, but it feeds right into this island. If you change anything, you just have to change it in the data, and it will update automatically into this island and swap out the information in these columns for each different product.
For sure.
And then
it's helpful to have things like that. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
And then at the bottom, I added on this tabbed island that you can then put in the specific information, other general information about each piece. Is
that the product snapshot island that you put on those tabs? It looks like it.
So, product highlights. Sorry.
Yeah, product highlights.
Yeah.
Same thing. Perfect.
So then
awesome.
Again, so then frontline person can easily ask questions. And like I said, I think my favorite part is how quickly they can get to it from any page in the portal. If someone walks up to their teller station, they can just pull up in the portal and just click right here and get to it from any page that they're on.
Easy access. You definitely accomplished that goal.
Yes, definitely.
What does product training look like?
Well, that's a work in progress. This is something that our management hands out training. They have scheduled training for our frontline staff each quarter. So we're just breaking it out as to what they would be doing each quarter. So they can go in here and be like, oh, this is what I'm working on this week of the quarter, so they know what to kind of review for their training.
It's a great best practice to give them a place to have that information that's accessible to everyone. That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. There's ongoing training for our frontline tellers, and that's what that plays into.
Awesome.
We want to talk about?
Looking really great. I love it. I wonder, it'd be a good time to check and see if we have any questions. And I did ask one of my teammates to hop on to kind of help out with questions. So I'm going to tag Cameron on the phone today and see. Cameron, have we had any questions come in yet? And also those of you who are attendees on the phone, if you have any questions yet, about, the process, about products and services, anything you want to ask Heidi, feel free to send those in. Cameron, have you seen any questions come through yet that we could tackle?
Yeah, I do. I actually, I don't have any in the Q&A section as of right now, but we do have a few questions that I know have came up before that we wouldn't mind asking you. And I know you kind of touched on some of these, but just high level, why has products and services been so important and beneficial for you at Bank of Eastern Oregon?
It's been beneficial and useful for us. It's used for training for our frontline tellers, as I had talked about in product training. Every quarter, they're asked to review various products that we offer and make sure that they're up to speed on any changes that we've made to our offerings. And so keeping this section updated is a resource for them during their training. And then any new employee that comes on board can quickly know what is available as a consumer of the, also because you have an account here, so you want to know what are your other options. And then as they talk to friends or family, they can come here too and educate themselves and pass on information to those who ask questions to them.
Very good. And that kind of transitions well into another question that we had. As far as ongoing maintenance of products and services, this is a question we get a lot of times from groups on, who's going to take content ownership of these areas? Do you have this separated out into different content managers, or is there one central person who is kind of managing all of these? And how do you go about keeping it up to date and current?
That is an ongoing battle, I think, probably for every organization. We do have two specific people who currently maintain our products and services section of our portal. They're not always on top of changes, but they do have access to go in there. Things don't change frequently for us. There's not always a lot of update. I would say the major update comes in the product training section. Every year they kind of map out what they're going to do each quarter, and they can go into the back end and update that in their modules, products and services section, and they can update, manage products and services, and they can go in there and put that stuff in there.
Cool, very good. And we did just have a question come in. So Heidi, what is the biggest piece of advice that you would give a new group coming in that is just starting to use products and services or wanting to kind of reinvent their products and services?
Think it through first. I would start by breaking it down into sections, checking, savings, and then drilling down from there to narrow down what you're going to have in each division. Organizing it in terms of breakdown will help you put that information into the back end a little bit better. And then having an overview, kind of like you see here, this overview of what each piece offers in addition to the specifics.
Perfect. Yeah, and to tag on that is definitely a best practice that we recommend, is really taking some time and thoughtfully thinking out what all you want to have in this and how it really is going to impact your frontline staff. The next question that I have, and this is actually just a personal favorite of mine that I ask on all of these Bestie webinars. Other than, outside of the products and services hub, what is something that you could share with us that, really has been impactful in the portal, or just something that you deem kind of as your personal favorite thing about Be-Bop?
Well, like I said earlier, we haven't rolled our relaunch out just yet. We're about to, but my favorite current innovation that I'm looking forward to when it rolls out is this roll call portion. Right now, we have an email that goes out to all staff members every day telling everybody who in upper management is out of the office. And then also in that email is usually a story or picture shared by an employee of a trip that they did or a milestone in their life or something. And it comes in as an email to us right now, and who doesn't get inundated with emails? But then if someone wants to comment on that email, they tend to hit reply all. And you end up with a string of emails that conversation that you really don't need to spend your time with. So I have kind of rethought that and generated using the management blogs, this roll call blog where it can be the repository for that information of who's gone, and then can include that story that normally comes out in an email with the pictures. It can be here. You can see the pictures, any captions that they have. And then instead of getting all of those emails, people can have their conversation here, and you can either subscribe to it and get all of those comments in your email, or you can avoid all of it. And then they can have the conversation here on the portal instead of clogging up everybody's email inbox.
I love this.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this in action once we
Me
roll
too.
it out. And then it's great too, as new people come on, or even as if people are on vacation, they can come back here and they'll be able to go into the archives and look back and you know, connect with their coworkers, even if we're, you know, 40 miles apart or 3 hours apart. It's a great way to bring everybody into one location and feel like we're all one family.
Yeah, because you guys are spread out quite a bit, right? And that was part of what brought this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes it out of email, so everyone doesn't get group emails, and it's easy for groups to people to come back to, especially if they're a new employee and weren't there for that email. This is really neat.
Very good. Yeah, that is I really like that best practice there. I mean, it kind of just goes to show you that there are so many different use cases for all the different applications that we have within OnSemble. The next question that I have for you, and this is kind of something that I know Rochelle has mentioned a few times internally as something that you're doing, but can you share with us a little bit? She's mentioned that you have what is called the Fishbowl. Can you kind of share what the Fishbowl is?
I can. We use a practice of fish philosophy. Let me just show you guys what that is real quick. If I can remember what this is under. Customer service, okay. So if you live on the West Coast, this is kind of a philosophy that you might hear a lot on the West Coast. It kind of came out of the fish market up in Seattle. It's the fish philosophy. And so we use this company-wide. It's done during employee orientation, and we just always strive, you know, to play and make their day, whether they're a customer or a team member, another staff member. You know, every day you choose your attitude. So we really execute this daily at all of our locations. And so we have this fishbowl, which plays into the fish philosophy, and that's where all of our kind of core information falls, our location address and hours, the counties that we have branches in, our employee directory, employee recognition, which will be new to us when we roll out the new portal. We don't have it right now, so I'm looking forward to that. Yes. We have a phone directory, and we have quick links. So we have this fishbowl that is commonly known in all of our locations, plays off of the fish philosophy, and then also when we do roll out the employee recognition, it plays also off of the fish philosophy. And so when you're doing your recognition, you can toss it. And then, so if you can toss the fish to another employee. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video of the fish market up in Seattle. If you have a chance to go on YouTube and look it up, it's really interesting because they actually throw fish across from one employee to another. So that's kind of the concept of flying fish. And those are the ones that other people are throwing to each other. You know, my fish, anybody who's tossed you a fish, it would show up in your fish. And then if you want to give recognition, you're going to toss the fish to another employee and pick it from there. So that is the fishbowl and the fish philosophy that we have here at Bank of Eastern Oregon.
I love it. Can I get a whoop whoop, it says.
Yeah, I had fun coming up with the different kind of icons and fish that can be tossed.
Well, the fun part is it does fit with your culture there. You know, you have a really fun group, and they enjoy being able to, I think, recognize each other. I think this is going to be a real hit for you guys once you get live. So I'm excited to see that. And I love how you've played it into the fish philosophy, since that's a big part of your organization as well. Awesome. Are there any other questions that we have from any of the attendees, or any other things that have come through there?
Yes, I do have one that came through. So you had mentioned earlier that you built out your own graphics for your buttons. We're wondering what resources did you use for this to achieve that?
Okay. So here on the Products and Services Hub, each of these blue boxes I created using some resources that were provided to me from Passageways, actually. On one of my calls, I had asked them for some resources, and they had directed me to kind of a free online graphic editor called vector.com, VECTR.com. And you can create graphics in there in different sizes and color them and put in text and put in graphics. So then I built the button in there, and then these little graphics, you see the kind of the icons that are on here, I found at another free website called flaticon.com, which again, a resource provided from Passageways. And I sifted through all those icons, and you kind of have to dig around to find an icon that matches what you're looking for. Sometimes it was a stretch to try to find one that would match. So then I would download the free icon. The nice thing about Flat Icon is you can change the color that's used on the icon before you download it. So you can already set it to, like I set it to the white or the clear or the kind of a cream or the white color, and then downloaded it and uploaded it into my vector.com account and put it into this button and made this graphic. And I set the size of them and the color, and then uploaded them into the portal and incorporated them into the HTML.
Love it. I've used Vector before, and one thing that I like about it, besides the fact that it's free, we don't have these fancy editing tools here at all on the CSM team either. So we love free resources and love to share them. But one thing that I like about it too is it has the ability to copy. So like you could build one and then just copy them, and then you could crank out a whole bunch of them really quickly. So I use that when we do our off-roads and things like that. I'll use that, or sometimes PowerPoint, because it's easy to just crank them out really quickly that way.
Yeah, and it helps being able to copy them, allows you to keep the text in the same location each time, trying to eyeball it. Yeah,
for sure.
And then you have multiple graphics saved in there, and I have all my graphics from my portal are in my Vector account, and I can go back in and edit them as I need and then download a copy.
That's awesome. Well, I think you have a lot of really neat things that you've shown us today. I think one thing that I'm really looking forward to hearing is some of the feedback that you get from staff after you've had a chance to go live and roll this out, which will be right around the corner. So we'll be keeping an update handy for that, absolutely, and are really looking forward to celebrating that with you. But I love what you've done. All the hard work you've put in definitely shows, and I think it's going to be a great resource, the products and services for your team. Something you'll be able to continue kind of building upon after you get it rolled out to everyone. So it's really exciting.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that came in? Any other questions? Otherwise, I think we've probably shown everything that we needed to today. We might give you guys some extra minutes back in your day.
I have not had any more come in. Just want to say thank you, Heidi, for answering those. That definitely provided a lot of clarity for the attendees on some of the awesome best practices that you did. So thank you for that.
Awesome. And thank you, Cameron, for helping out with the questions. I really appreciate that too. Teamwork. Awesome. Well, with that, I'd like to thank everyone once again for joining us. We're going to go ahead and hop off early, give you a few minutes back in your day. If you want to keep an eye out for the recording, it typically will go out. We'll post it on the community. So if you've not been in there, get with your CSM and we can show you where that is. We'll get that posted there. We also will typically send that link out in our monthly newsletter, so make sure you have Passageways whitelisted so that you're getting those from your CSM as well. And in any other further questions that you have, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help you out, and hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of products and services if that's one of the tools you have, or if you're interested, feel free to reach out again to your CSM. We'll help you out with that. Heidi, you've been amazing. We really enjoy you taking time out of your day, and all the best practices and ideas that you've shared. And we're excited to celebrate your go live with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you have an awesome day. Thank you. Take care, everyone.